Hi everyone, welcome to Mind Money Method. This is 22nd of June, and yeah, really we're just going to be going on from last week when we spoke about a few of the currencies, mainly around the dollar index and what's happening around the dollar index. Well, I can tell you last week was, if you go to last week's video, Mind Money Method, on the website on the trader development, and look at the last week's June the 15th video, you'll see I did speak about the dollar index and a few of the currencies which I'll speak about now. But what a fantastic trading week it was last week. Fantastic trading week. Really all the calls we made within Mind Money Method as a company all came into fruition, and we had a fantastic trading week. So it was really great week to have, and there's some beautiful trends out there in the markets. The markets are playing ball, and these are the times where us as traders, we love to stalk our markets and wait for opportunities, the right opportunities, and really be disciplined in the way we approach the markets to place trades, and treat it like a business, as we keep saying, and not like as if you're gambling. So we really believe in treating trading like a business, as any other business, controlling your risk and your money management. Making sure you know what you're doing. Otherwise, obviously, yes, you can lose a lot of money. The name of the game is to be in profit at the end of the year. So if we look at the dollar index over here, you'll remember last week's video, the 15th, I was saying that we're definitely looking strong on a downtrend, and it was likely to continue its downtrend. And you'll see here, this is the candle on the 15th. That's when I was mentioning, and we were looking at multiple time frames in agreement. And for the downtrend to continue, is the dollar index, the dollar weakness to continue. And at this point over here, this was at about 9.49 level. Well, we dropped all the way down to 9.34. So quite a drop. And there was a lot of money to be made last week in the markets, which was fantastic. So we definitely continued the downtrend, as we said on our video last week, and that continued. So we've come now on the daily. If we look at this, and it's come to a little slight level over here of, if you want to call it, support. Not major, to be honest, because if we really have to look at the technicals, not major, but we're at some level over here. But I still think that the dollar index can continue in its technicals for the downtrend to continue. We're looking very bearish on the weekly candle. You can see it's rolled over here slightly as the start of the day trading now. We are really 1 hour into trading in the market. Slightly bullish candle, if you want to call it, but it's still, we're technically in a downtrend. So if we look at the monthly candle over here, we broke the low of this candle last month's low of the high candle. We've broken that, which suggests that potentially we could be pulling back a little bit further into the moving averages, and for dollar weakness to continue. So let's go on to the next pair that we'll look at, and that's US dollar to the Canadian dollar. And if we look at this, it's really we're downtrending on the daily, we're downtrending on the weekly, and the monthly is looking slightly bearish as well. So pretty much so looking the same on the US dollar to the Canadian. So dollar weakness, it's representing the same as dollar weakening against the Canadian dollar. So definitely on the downtrend with that. If we go to the British pound to the US dollar, well, if you recall on the weekly video last week, if we go around to the 15th when the video was created, we were saying that British pound was definitely strengthening. It was looking good across multiple time frames, plus lower time frames as well. So there's some great trading opportunities last week. I myself jumped in on the bandwagon, and I think it was the Tuesday that I entered into the market. It set up for me according to the Mind Money Method criteria that we have on our strategies. One of the strategies I put into action, and I got into the markets, and pretty much so got out on Friday last week, and it was a fantastic week of trading. Probably about 450 pips thereabout that was made. So for anyone who's a newbie and doesn't understand pips, That's obviously part of what we cover in our courses, but percentage points, that was covered if you were trading £1 per 1 pip, well, and it went up 400, you basically would have made £400. Obviously double that, 800 if it was £2, and so on and so forth. So fantastic trading week last week. The British pound really was rocketing. It's now broken this previous kind of high, if you want to call it, over here. We're continuing now. It's still looking bullish across multiple time frames. The British pound to carry on with its strength. If we go to the weekly over here, you can see over here it's had a lovely pullback. It came into the moving averages and it's gone, and here we are. Potentially it can carry on going. We've got multiple time frames in agreement. So British pound still looking bullish, but there's definitely no entry criteria for me at this point in time. I will be looking at these markets and I will be analyzing these markets and continue to do so as part of my plan for this week. Part of the plan is, with dollar weakness, looking at the technicals of it, that the plan is to look for entry points on other time frames and other currencies to trade on shorting against the US dollar. And that's where I will be looking. If we go look at one more currency right now, well, maybe look at another one, but the euro to the US dollar, that's pretty much also looks like we've been having an uptrend here. If we go to the weekly, we're definitely looking that we can continue. We've come to a little level over here, but to break on through the indicators and everything showing a bullish market, euro against the US dollar, which goes in congruence with what the US dollar is doing, weakness to the US dollar. So it's in accordance with that. Like I've said in other videos, it's not always like that, but it certainly is the way right now. So one thing I want to say to everyone, folks, is that we got to be also aware, and I know us as technical traders, we are technical and we focus mainly on the technicals, 99% on technicals, 1% on fundamentals. And we still got to really, the charts are telling me, dollar weakness and the art as part of my trading plan, opportunities on the short against the dollar, and obviously looking at other currencies to go long against the dollar. So in terms of euro, go long, British pound, go long because of dollar weakness. So we got to take into account big news potentially this evening. I think it's around 6 o'clock UK time. All to do with Greece and the Greece defaulting and potentially leaving the euro. So there are big news announcements around that. Will Greece default and will they leave the euro? Is that going to be the decision that's going to be made? That's obviously going to have some major impact on the markets. And when there's big news announcements like this, we need to be aware of the announcements, and we need to be aware if we are in any trades and how to manage and what to do in scenarios and situations like that, so that you don't treat it like gambling and you make very sure you're treating your trading like a business. So that's one of the big news announcements, and the whole world is looking upon that, and we need to take that into consideration. If I'm going to end this video off, I'll just quickly go here to another lovely trending market, and that's the Kiwi dollar against the US dollar. Now, the Kiwi dollar is actually losing strength against the US dollar, even though the US dollar is weakening against other currencies. But, I mean, this is what we call one of the superb trends. So this is definitely a market I'm looking at as part of my trading plan for the week, for some opportunities on the short side. Kiwi dollar against the US dollar. Beautiful chart, price action, fantastic. So that's it from me in terms of the weekly video. It's the 22nd of June, and happy trading, everyone, and I wish you all the best, and we'll catch you next week on another weekly video. Mind Money Method. All the best.